Did you create an introduction for Mamie like I did? You didn't.
No, but I can make one up. You want to hear it on the fly?
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear Bill Russell's really.
I do, Bill. Go ahead.
No, I'll tell you. I am. You've taken over as the editor of Lake Norman Woman magazine. Again, you have your ladies' nights that you've been having. You're going to be the MC tomorrow. You know she's the MC of my women's conference, right?
I did not know that.
She is the MC. She's not only the co-host tonight, the MC of the women's conference with 180 women going to be at the Peninsula Club tomorrow.
She packed the club.
She absolutely.
She packed the club.
We set a goal.
Mamie packed the club.
We set a goal for 150, which is 30 more than we've been normally doing. We got 180 women coming. So, when did you know that you wanted to take over and be the editor of a magazine?
Wait a minute, Bill.
Yes.
Wilton, I would like a little clapping there.
I heard my intro music. I heard my, yeah. I think that's better than a clap right there, yeah. No, I got both of them. I got both of them. Bill takes care of me.
Seriously, Bill and I are so grateful. Thank you so much.
You guys. I appreciate you guys just having me be here today, too, because I'll tell you, 5 years ago, never thought that this would be where I was. I came from the world of TV, and really, I've told this story before, but I took one radio class in college, and because I knew I wanted to do TV, and I took one class in college, and I was horrible at it. And we had to edit, though this was the dark ages, the 1900s, where you had to edit with like cutting tape with a razor blade and taping it back together with another piece of tape. It was terrible. It was absolutely, and I was like, I'm never going into radio.
But you became the queen of memes here in Lake Norman.
And that's really what it was. So it was because I could have COVID to thank and my mother to thank for that too. My mom is a storyteller. She was a speaker. Like anytime someone would ask me to speak, I'd be like, no, you want my mom. She's much better than me. She was a speaker. She was an author. She was, all the things. And also, though, taught us to do everything with laughter. My dad's a preacher. Mom's a teacher. You got to have some humor in there somewhere, right? Yeah. You got 100,000 stories, and they're all just funny and silly between kids at school and preachers' families and small town living and all the kind of things. So, but my mother passed away suddenly during COVID. And so for me, I was like, all right, we're here in this space. I'm working in TV, but not really working. I'm working from home and TV, and life is weird and crazy, and I just need to laugh, and I just need something to laugh about. And everybody during COVID was, and I don't know about you guys or your wives, but everybody was like making bread and sewing their own clothes, and I was like, that nothing about that says me, nothing at all. And so I was like, you know what? I just want to laugh. My mom taught me to laugh about everything and to have humor in every situation. And so I was like, I'm just going to make up funny things about living in Lake Norman. Let's just do that and see what happens with it. And it's just for me. And I'm going to curate my own social media feed that's going to be fun for me to look at. So I just started making funny things about Lake Norman and just took off. It took off because two things. Everybody was at home.
Right.
And everybody needed to laugh. And so it was healing for me, but for everybody else it was as well. And I've had so many people say, you got us through COVID. Like that's what it was.
Oh,
it was
funny.
That bridge to like something to laugh about through COVID. So it's traffic, it's how many banks are on exit 28. It's, all the kinds of things that are fun to laugh about. It's all the people moving from outside of, the area, because I grew up in the area. But it's just really fun. And so it just came from a place of real love for the lake and also a need for laughter and to have fun. And so Justin invited me to come on the show as a guest, and I came on the show, and he was like, you like doing this? I was like, yeah, this is fun. I like doing this. And so it worked out for me to come and be co-host on Good Morning LKN, and then the magazine came right after that. So never was a plan or thought or anything like that. And like I said, I would always have said, just give it to my mom because she's much better at that than me.
So I got a little insight into your growing
There's
success.
Nothing on me in the Terminator that has no news on me. I'm brand new.
This is all Joe. This is all Joe.
Terminator's got nothing on me.
I say that because, I've been in and around WSIC for 12 years, right? I saw and was part of the transition from Mark to Justin, right? I started Lake Norman Woman magazine, right? And watched it grow to this phenomenal magazine. Justin comes to me and says, hey, that might be a good fit, right? Then he introduced me to you, and I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. And so I'm watching you go on the WSIC morning show. Then I'm watching you mature into this woman business person, because I don't see that at first, right?
Right.
Because I wouldn't know that, right? And then I'm watching you mature into this magazine editor, and it's this sense of pride saying, "Yeah, I was in and around watching Mamie."
You were there from the beginning, Joe.
But talk about the feeling, because people don't understand. There's a lot of things you have to do that you've never done before
absolutely.
until you do them, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Kind of talk a little bit about that.
And it's just me being willing to say yes, too. You know, Justin was like, do you want to be editor? And I was like, sure, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. Sounds
And then
like
you were
fun.
like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, it was exactly that. And huge props to Dana Jordan, who had it for, 11, 12 years before me. She really built the integrity and the, what the magazine was. And then I just was able to take it and take it to the next place is what my idea was. Justin helps me a lot. And the staff that came along with it, fantastic staff. Chelsea, who's been with it from the beginning, Leslie and Stephanie and Michelle. And then we've added some more on since then. So definitely I don't do it on my own. I get to kind of be the one that's out there talking about it all the time and pumping it up, but it's not just me.
But you're the perfect person because you have that social media relationship. And so now you can take Lake Norman Woman magazine, old school print, right? And merge it with this new media,
right?
Where we, as people starting Lake Norman Woman magazine, right? That's really hard for us to do. So you are this perfect fit at the right time to really bring two great operations together. I just see so many positive things coming out of Lake Norman Woman. Evidence of that is what Bill's talking about. Packing the club.
Well, that's what you're going to put on my tombstone. Maybe pack the club.
She packed the club.
Pack the club. No, it brings together all my things that I love, uplifting women, which I love, coming from a very strong mother, coming from having 3 sisters. I grew up in a family of my poor dad, but he's the most loved man in the world. He's got 5 women that absolutely adore
that's
him.
miserable. That just sounds miserable.
Absolutely wonderful. You can ask him any day of the week.
Comment.
Yeah, he absolutely loves it. And now he's got 9.
Mike, you got women at home. Is that why you're saying that?
I have 3 girls and a boy. So
yeah, you get it. You get it. Yeah. So
and
Dad
I
was
love
surrounded.
it. I would have it no other way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Dad's
What else
surrounded-
can you say?
But yeah, just grew up in a family of strong women, strong maternal figures in my family. So taught me that women can do anything. There was no limitation on what I have. And then I had a daughter, and so it gave me even more drive to say women literally can do anything. She's pre-law right now. She's got a little job at a law firm this summer. And so for me, that's what I've just tried to do in my life in general, whether it's through what I do for work, what I do for volunteer, what I do for fun. And then the place I love the most, I bought a Lake Norman t-shirt before I ever lived here, before I ever thought I'd get to live here. And they're like, why are you wearing that? And I was like, I'm going to live there one day. I love the area.
And Joe, we have them for sale down at the Chamber of Commerce.
There you go.
Absolutely
Joe, here's the thing though. This month's issue of Lake Norman Woman magazine was focused on pets. And
not just pets, but yes, pets.
And I
Pets are
sent
included.
3 pictures of Henry. Three pictures of Henry in, and it was another sheepdog.
Another sheepdog
Another
one.
sheepdog one.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's the power of social media, Bill.
He's a bitter old man, any way you cut it.
It was open voting
Dogs,
on social media.
Doctors. It's a theme.
I know. No, so even this month we did, me trying to make the magazine accessible for all women. Because me, before working with the magazine, I would have never had a chance to be in it. I didn't own a business. I wasn't kind of the face of a business, right? And so I wanted to make it accessible for all women in the community. And that is pulling in pets. Let's do who's the cutest pet of Lake Norman. You don't have to own a business to put your pet in there. We did an issue on moms, advice that moms would give or advice that you would give to moms. You don't have to own a business for that to be part of it. So it just gives the accessibility with the ladies' night that we're doing. We do Ladies Who Lunch. We do Woman of the Year that we just announced that we're going to do in September.
You added the podcast, which is a big deal.
On, right? So adding the podcast on. So seeing not stopping the legacy of the magazine, which is a beautiful, well done magazine.
Dana has done or did
she did an amazing
phenomenal job of I mean, I'd love to tell people I started Lake Norman Woman magazine, but let me tell you something. It was nothing, right? Until I took Dana in and she built it to a new level. And I'm watching through your eyes exactly the same thing that I watched through Dana. I watched Dana grow it in ways that I would have never done. And now I'm watching you do the same thing. It is such a treat to watch you do that. I just see so many positive things coming from that.
Absolutely. And it brings together, it's one of those things where it brings together your passions, your skills, and your abilities all together. And so that's what makes it a great product. It makes me love to do what I do.
And that's why she is our co-host
That's
this
it.
year, Bill.
That's it.
Thank you, Mamie. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.